I'm getting jumped. Oh my god. They're all. It's like. Oh
You
my
like that?
god.
You like that? You like that?
What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the PvP build that I use to try and go flawless every weekend that I play Trials of Osiris. And also, I'm going to be showing you a 6v6 variant of this same build, so you can use it in Iron Banner this weekend if you want. But I want to focus on the Trials variant because there's some really specific things that make this build so strong. So yeah, I just want to go through it. So we're going to start. We use Nova Bomb because it's a shutdown super and it has a low base cooldown. So Needle Storm's 820, Nova Bomb's 820, Song of Flame 916, Winter's Wrath 916, and Storm Trance 916. So it's the lowest you can get on Prismatic. And yeah, there's a real specific reason that I use Prismatic now. I used to go flawless quite a bit with Void Lock, with Controverse Hold, and Void Souls and stuff. And then I switched to Stasis Lock, which is extremely powerful in PvP. If you didn't know, freezing is extremely busted in player versus player for obvious reasons. And yeah, it's really good at getting 1v3s. But the problem with it is this shitty super Winter's Wrath, where with Prismatic, we can get the best of all worlds now, and that's what I want to get into. So I've got Nova Bomb Cataclysm because it's the best super for Trials, Healing Rift because that's obviously very good in Trials. I run Strafe Glide just because, like, I'm not trying to get to the point really fast. If I was, I'd be on Solar Warlock with Icarus Dash and Burst Glide. But with this, I run Strafe Glide just for movement in the air. Penumbral Blast. So, like I was saying, Freeze is extremely strong in Crucible. So this allows me to get very easy kills and sometimes double kills with one melee. So it's very, very good. And then I will run Cold Snap. But I want to say this with an asterisk because 2 weekends ago when it was on Endless Veil, I was running Cold Snap. But last weekend when it was on Multiplex, I actually switched to Threadling Grenade. So you can use what you like. Obviously, healing grenades are decent. Vortex grenades are pretty good. But again, freezing is just so clutch. But on a big map like Multiplex, it wasn't as good. So I had swapped to Threadling grenades. But yeah, this is the base setup that you want. Then for aspects, I run Hellion. So every time I cast a Rift, I'm going to activate this little solar mortar. And what's so great about this is it can help secure you kills. I tend to run Igneous Hammer in Trials, so it's normally a 3 crit kill. Well, if my Hellion hits the enemy, then I could probably get a 2 crit 1 body. So it helps for forgiveness and just splash damage, and it scorches. So it keeps the enemy from regenning while they're being scorched. So it's very, very strong. And then we have Weaver's Call. So anytime I cast my Rift, I'm sending out Threadlings. And if I cast it near enemies, they're going to damage the enemies near to me. And if not, they'll just come back and perch. And then as I deal damage, I will be sending my Threadlings out. So again, this just helps for splash damage. I tend to run solo in Crucible. So that's why I like Igneous Hammer so much, because I really try to team shoot with my teammates. I don't always run Igneous. I was actually running a Scout on Multiplex, but I don't like Multiplex. I just wanted the Adept Shaoras. So I didn't go flawless that week. I did on Endless Veil, but on Multiplex, I just did the Persistence passage so that I could get the Adept. But yeah, basically I like to team shoot, and both of these just help with chip damage. Onto our fragments. If you watch my video from yesterday on the Hunter build for just general 6v6, I use the fragments as stat sticks, meaning all of these fragments are giving me bonus stats. So I'm getting like plus 20 to strength from these two, 10 each, and then plus 10 resil, plus 10 intellect, plus 10 discipline, and plus 10 recovery. And this build is obviously based around having my melee, having my cold snap, all those things. So when I would run this, basically the same setup, I would use the Rift that freezes on Stasis, So I actually had 100 strength and very little intellect because I didn't care about trying to get my super in a trials match, because Winter's Wrath is pretty shitty and I would rarely get it anyways. It would have to be like a 4-4 down to the final match, like a 5-4 type game. So I never cared for intellect because I knew I was barely getting it anyways. Where now I can consistently get a Nova Bomb late in the match if I'm running 100 intellect. So that brings me kind of to the next point, which is your stat splits. So again, you want 100 recovery, obviously for the quick health regen, but also because this will help you get more rifts, which feeds into your Weaver's Call and your Hellion. So you have this in pretty much every other round at least, if not most rounds. 100 discipline, because cold snaps are very good, even without whatever that aspect is called that chains them together on stasis. It's still really good without that, so I really like running that. Then you want fairly high strength for your Penumbral Blast if you can, but again, because we're on Prismatic, I would go for intellect over strength, because getting a super can just flat out win you around. So again, this is very trials centric, but I will get to the 6v6 one in a minute. So obviously this wasn't quite right. So I like double solar targeting for quicker ADS and better target acquisition on my Igneous Hammer. And then solar loader and dexterity is nice on Igneous Hammer. And then I always run Ophidian Aspect, weapons ready and reload very quickly. And you get a bit of a boost to your airborne effectiveness. So yeah, very nice exotic. I've loved this since year 1. Still love them. Double unflinching solar aim, so that's just going to help me in my duels with my Igneous. Here, just absolution to help reduce our ability cooldowns, and then innervation and invigoration to help even further on the grenade and melee cooldowns. So these are very good if you happen to get an orb in a trials match. And then again, so we've got outreach and bomber, so that's feeding us melee and grenade energy every time we cast a rift. And if we cast it near enemies, we're getting a reduction to all our cooldowns. So yeah, this build is very strong. And then run radiant orbs. In trials, you're rarely going to get orbs in around, but you know, maybe you have a Bubble Titan or a Well of Radiance on your team and you pick them up. It's still good to have on. But overall, I'm not too concerned about the artifact mods. And then I do just want to show my Igneous Hammer. I run Encore, Eye of the Storm. This thing is a stat monster, like 82 range with small bore. I could actually bump that up, and I should bump that up. So I should run Armor Piercing. I don't know when that got switched, but yeah. And then Targeting Adjuster, Encore, Eye of the Storm. It's a great dueling weapon, great in trials, because it's all about securing that first pick. So you don't really want a kill chaining weapon, in my opinion. You want something that's going to be consistent and get you a kill early on. Machine guns are really good, so I run this even though there's only 1 round of heavy. And conditional finality is still nasty, but you could run whatever shotgun or whatever you like, really. So that is the trials portion of the build. Now I want to jump over to the 6v6 Iron Banner version that I've been running, because it's a little different. Stormtrance has always been an awesome super, but ever since the 3.0 Arc subclass changes, I miss Arc Webs. I used to actually be like an Arc Warlock main in PvP because of Arc Webs. Now I can go back to Stormtrance, which is really strong in 6v6. So that's what I run. And then Threadling Grenades, just because it's really good for, like, especially control. If people are capping a zone, you can just chuck it out and deal some chip damage while you and your teammates start shooting them, but you can run whatever you like. These are all the same. Hellion and Weaver's Call again, because we're just casting a bunch of rifts. And then again, the stat stick fragments. And then really it's just whatever weapons you like. This week is Iron Banner, so I'm running Roar the Bear to help round out my 5 Iron Banner pieces. And then same thing, just the unflinching and targeting and whatever else you need. So yeah, it's not too much different, but I wish I could have 100 resilience, but I've got 90 resil, 100 recov, 100 discipline, and 60 intellect. 60 intellect's nice. Does it show? Yeah, so my cooldown's 758, which is kind of long, but pretty much is enough to almost guarantee you, unless you get mercied, to get 1 super per match. So that's kind of all you want. And then there are some damage thresholds that you can hit if you're at tier 10. But as you can see, I can't even really get that because I've got all... Actually, I could swap this. This is actually what I should do. So take my strength down to... Because look, I'm only getting 6 seconds on my melee cooldown. But again, your Penumbral Blast is way more effective in a 3v3 mode like Trials, where kills are so important to secure, where having 6 less seconds in quick play isn't going to make much of a difference. So I'm actually going to save this loadout now that I see I can make it slightly better. So yeah, this is going to be my quick play loadout, and this is my Trials loadout that has been very, very good so far in the final shape, because like I said, it's kind of giving you the best of all worlds, because you can get the best parts of Stasis, which are the melee and the Cold Snap, and but then you can still get a good shutdown super for Trials. So yeah, I just wanted to make that quick little video showing off what I like to use in Trials. And then yeah, if you want to try this one out in Iron Banner this week, I've been having lots of success with it. It's been very fun. I really like the feel of Elsie's rifle. I've been using that some. I use Claws of the Wolf on my Hunter. I was trying this Imminence. As you can see, I only just got it. So yeah, only got 9 kills, but it was feeling pretty decent. Anyways, I'll stop talking. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, then a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. I also have a community Discord now, so that is linked in the description if you want to join that. And maybe I'll put this build on Mobalytics as well. So if you want an actual dim link, just go to the Mobalytics build page. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care.